Hello everyone, Sharpedo43 once again bringing you all a showdown battle. Yes, a showdown battle. The reason why I'm showcasing a showdown battle is because this battle is actually from a tournament that's it's relatively well known in the Draft League community. I don't know if you people know it, but a lot of people in the draft community do. And it's called March Madness. It's a tournament that is hosted every March, obviously, and I was a part of this tournament. At least as a participant. Reasoning for it is because apparently PGL, the league that I was in not too long ago, had the very privilege of being in this tournament without having to apply, I think. Because I think that March Madness is a tournament that requires applications. But I don't know. I don't know how it all went down there, but bottom line was that PGL was invited to, you know, be there, and the league needed some representatives to participate in the tournament, and as a result, Trexel recruited me and ChoiceSpecs for the tournament, and as a result, here we are. This battle is actually from the pools that happened before the brackets, so yeah, and our first opponent is actually going to be King John W, a guy I have absolutely no clue who he is, but he's coach of the Keldeos. I was going to say Indiana Carolinas, what the fuck? The Indiana Keldeos is what I wanted to say. And as for the league that he represents, it only says LD on the dock, but I don't know what that stands for, honestly. I don't know if it means the lost dock or something, the lonely draft or what. I don't know. So, I don't know what it stands for, but it's LD. So yeah, and me and myself and my team and all that stuff, we are still repping the Sylmar Sylveons and repping the PGL as well. So yeah, like I said, this battle's from the pools, and the team that I have right here, because this is a draft tournament, by the way. This is a draft tournament. We had to draft 8 Mons, obviously. These 6 that you see right here right now is what I have drafted, as well as 2 others. They are Heatran and Armaldo, which you may or may not see in the rest of the pool battles. So yeah, but for right now we have these 6 right here. And my opponent's team is really annoying too, because he has a water core. He has a Victini, which is annoying. Victini is always annoying. And let's not get started on Latios. Latios, I've already mentioned several times, whether it's the Latios or the Latios, they're both annoying in draft format because, yeah, again, this is a draft tournament. We have to draft Pokemon to battle our opponents. And since, you know, PGL was invited, you know, it should be a given that this is a draft tournament anyways. It's not a draft league, which is why you see no draft analysis, because even though I think we did have the option to provide a draft analysis for March Madness, I didn't think it was worth it, honestly, because, like, what if I actually don't make the, like, you know, what if I don't advance to the like, brackets or something? And even if I did, again, it's a very small one-day event. It's not even worth it, honestly. I don't think, anyway, but anyways. So, the team that we have here, we have Sharpedo, we have a Cafagrius, which for some reason is female. I could have sworn I made that male, I don't know, but whatever. We have Haxorus, we have Tangrowth, and we have a Nidoking and Thundurus team. We're hoping we win with this team because, I mean, we do kind of have to prep against our opponents with very limited time, actually, like much more limited time than in typical draft leagues, actually, which is kind of what makes this tournament like a lot more harder for me. And on top of that, it's on Showdown, which is not something I'm all about. And not to mention, because of stuff like what happened with Cafagrius right here, is one of the reasons I don't like it. And that's not the only thing that's gonna come out of this battle. You're gonna see right now how it all goes down. But here we go. This is the battle. He's gonna lead off with Latios. I'm gonna lead off with Nidoking. He goes for Dragon Pulse turn 1, I guess, predicting me to switch out, which makes sense, because who would want to stay in on a Latios with a Nidoking, honestly? But I go for Shadow Ball, which is boosted by Sheer Force, but not Life Orb, because this Nidoking is not Life Orb, it's actually Black Sludge. And it does quite an amount of damage, which is actually really good for me. But because of the amount of damage that Dragon Pulse did, I don't want to stay in, obviously. So I'm going to switch out, and I believe I go into Tangrowth right here to see how well I can take a Dragon Pulse here. However, here he's actually going to end up going for the Roost, then a Calm Mind, and I go for Knockoff and get a crit, but this thing has a Cobra Berry, which is really annoying. Like, damn it, dude. Like, this man preps so damn specifically, and it's all working out for him, which is crazy. But yeah, here I send in Cafagrius now just to see if I can take a hit with this, but he ends up going for another Roost nonetheless, and I go for the Trick Room right here after he goes for Dragon Pulse, and despite the +1 that he has right now, my Cafagrius is still able to take a Dragon Pulse, which is actually really good, because not only does this allow me to go for Trick Room, but this also allows me to go for a Will-O-Wisp, and then it allows me to go for Hex, which is what I need in order to get as much damage on this Latios as possible. So yeah, here's the Will-O-Wisp, and he goes for a second Dragon Pulse, which thankfully, because it's a 3-hit KO, I can take, and now I can go for a free Hex. And now this puts him in a position where he has to kind of roost again, but unfortunately, all he has to do really right here is just continue to roost spam until the Trick Room runs out, which is probably the obnoxious thing about this Latios. This is why I hate Latios, because Latios is super damn fast, and on top of that has recovery, and it's damn powerful on top of that, and can set up. It's like another Volcarona in a way. Only difference is that it doesn't boost speed, but still, it puts me in these kinds of situations. It's really obnoxious. But yeah, Trick Room finally runs out right here, and he takes out my Cut Fire Gears with another Dragon Pulse. Gets a crit, which doesn't matter because given the amount of damage it did earlier, it was clearly in range to be taken out anyway, so yeah. But here, I decided to send out Sharpedo just because I was actually kind of pissed here because I was annoyed at the fact that he had to just simply roost spam in order to get away with wasting all the Trick Room turns. And I decided to just stay in and not even protect and just go for Crunch right here. And he's going to Hard Switch in the Ferrothorn right here, and it does quite an amount of damage, but unfortunately this damn freaking Ferrothorn is not only Iron Bars, which it naturally should be, but it's also Rocky Helmet, which means my Sharpedo takes a lot of damage just by attacking it. And it discourages me from continuing to attack it even further. So I think had I just stayed in, that would have been good for me, but at the same time I didn't want to stay in when, you know, he has a freaking what's it called, Zeraora still in the back of his team. And by the way, if you did not notice right there earlier before I switched out that Sharpedo did not have speed boost. I'll get to that in a bit. But anyways, right now what I'm going to do right now is hard switch into, I think it's Nidoking. I don't know why I switched it in, honestly. I don't know if this was a double switch. Oh, actually no. I think what happened right here was I went into it, then he switched out into Ferrothorn, and then I switched in the Nidoking. He went for Spikes, and then that's when I decided to go for the substitute, because I was thinking, what would he switch into? Would he switch into Latios, predicting another Shadow Ball? But either way, I just went for the substitute because I was hoping he'd fear the Flamethrower, which he thankfully did. So he brought back Latios, I got a substitute up, and now he has to break it. What he ends up doing though, and boy did this trigger me, but he actually just stayed in my face going for the freaking Calm Mind. And I went for the Shadow Ball, and unfortunately this Shadow Ball is not enough to take it out. And what's more annoying here is that now this thing is just going to roost spam me to death, which is annoying. And as you can see, Shadow Ball is doing much less every time that this guy roosts. So unfortunately here, it's good for me that I'm getting a lot of Black Sludge recovery, but the bad thing is that if this Latios recovers to the point where he's safe to just try to break my substitute and then take another Shadow Ball, then he can easily take me out, or just spam Dragon Pulse and nothing on my team takes it, obviously. Especially since he's at +1 again. Like, damn, this Latios is such a piece of shit, honestly. But yeah, right here we're just gonna basically keep doing the usual. He spams Roost, and I just keep spamming Shadow Ball. I think what I did here was hope for a crit, because by the way, I cannot hope for the special defense drop, because remember that this Nidoking is in fact Sheer Force, and Sheer Force negates any secondary ability that any move has in exchange for power. So, and Spadef drops is a secondary effect on Shadow Ball. So all I could do now literally is just hope for a crit, because I didn't want him to try to break my substitute. I still wanted to be in this good position that I am right now. So yeah, he's gonna keep going for Roost, and I was just like, come on, give me the damn crit. I still get no crit, but he's gonna just keep Roost spamming, so I should just continue to freaking Shadow Ball until I get some crit. And there it is, the damn crit. I finally get it. Now this Latios can finally go away, because goddamn it, the thing was really, really annoying, obviously. But here he's gonna go for Pelipper, and then he's gonna debate me and make me go for Shadow Ball, because I can't go for Earth Power nor Flamethrower, because Flamethrower doesn't do anything to Pelipper, and Earth Power is immune to it because Pelipper's a flying type. So I can only go for Shadow Ball. My only other move is to substitute as well, so I didn't have anything for Swampert. I couldn't hit it with Ice Beam, I couldn't hit it with Focus Blast, I couldn't hit it with anything that wasn't Shadow Ball. So I went for Shadow Ball, and I guess he predicted that, and he went into Swampert, which is, as you can see, it can take it very, very well. Had I went for Earth Power, they're predicting the Swampert. Not that I did, because I don't think I did actually. I actually thought he would stay in trying to break my substitute, because when I'm behind a substitute, you don't just sit around switching around. You try to break that substitute as soon as possible. But I guess in this guy's case, it didn't really matter to him. But yeah, so here he's gonna Mega Evolve, and I think here's where he tries to now finally break my substitute. And I go for Earth Power, and it does quite an amount of damage that had I gone for Earth Power, maybe, just maybe, I would have been able to take KO it. I could be wrong though, I don't know. But he goes for Stealth Rocks right here. I was thinking that if I switched in Tangrowth and he predicted me to switch out, he would go for Ice Punch, but he ended up going for Stealth Rocks instead, which I guess it's good because my Tangrowth doesn't take any damage, but it's annoying because now everything that switches in is going to now start taking spikes and rocks. And unfortunately, this team that I have right now doesn't have a hazard remover. My Tornado Steed doesn't have Defog. It actually had just a bunch of attacks. I forgot what else it had, honestly, but it didn't have Defog, which was really, really annoying. So here I'm going to just go for, I think, a knockoff because I was matched up with the Mega Swampert, and I was thinking, would he stay in trying to go for Ice Punch? Because I can take it with Tangrowth, I believe. But he does not, and he actually switches in the Pelipper, and I get to knock off its Damp Rock that this thing had. Unfortunately, I didn't knock this off sooner, which means the rain turns that it has right now it's still going to have, basically. So here I'm going to stay in and just go for a Giga Drain just to get some damage on this Pelipper. And he does go for Hurricane, and I actually take that surprisingly better than I thought. I thought it would put me at either red or even just straight up take me out, but I guess it was able to survive the Tangrowth, obviously. So I was thinking, okay, you know what, let's switch out and try to get some more HP back with Regenerator. I know that when coming back in, I'm just gonna lose some more HP, but I think I still have I still recover more from Regenerator than I lose HP on with the spikes and rocks, obviously. So I still decided to switch out just to get a little bit more recovery. And I switched in Nidoking right here, which was risky because the reason why I even switched it in was because I was hoping he'd go for Roost, and then I can hit it with another Shadow Ball just to keep it, you know, relatively low, so that Sharpedo can come in and crunch it later and get a speed boost, which, by the way, I'll get to in a bit. But here, what he's going to do is go for Surf, and I'm going to send in Tangrowth so that I can switch it out again. But unfortunately, as you saw right there, it didn't get any recovery from the Regenerator because this Tangrowth did not carry Regenerator, which is really, really bad. And I honestly don't know if I should blame Showdown for this or should I blame my lack of observations when team building on Showdown. But honestly, I never liked using Showdown to begin with, honestly. So it's kind of like, again, I don't even know who to blame. Maybe both, because honestly, for one thing, Showdown does so many annoying things, and even then, I still also, and I'm not observant enough. But whatever. Bottom line is that because I realized that this thing didn't even have Regenerator is where I decided to just sack this thing. I don't care what this Pelipper goes for, but I was just sacking this Tangrowth because I was just triggered. So yeah. But this Haxorus is what I decided to send in now because since he went for Agility earlier, making it +2, this was the only thing I can send in, honestly. Because yeah, this freaking Pelipper for some reason had Agility. I don't even know why it has freaking Agility given how low its speed is, but to be fair, it actually does outspeed literally everything on my team right now, with the exception of my Scarf Haxorus, which is one of the biggest reasons I send it out. And I do decide to click Outrage because I was in fact pissed and just wanted to just go on a rampage. And I did get to go on a rampage on this Victini that he decided to switch in and not Ferrothorn for some reason. I guess he was predicting a low kick or super power for my Haxorus, which is why he went into Victini. But yeah, I get some good damage on this Victini, and if it's not Scarf, then I should just be able to 2-hit KO it and get rid of the Victini. But unfortunately for me, he's actually Final Gambit, like he's Scarfed with Final Gambit. But thankfully, because of the damage I got off on it earlier, it's not going to be able to just simply take me out. I hate Scarf Final Gambit Victinis. Those things are just so, like, I don't know, dishonorable or something. I don't know what to call it, but I don't like that set whatsoever. It's stupid. But yeah, here I'm gonna finally go for the second Outrage, and I think I do get confused right here, as you can see. And now he's just gonna send out Ferrothorn, and I think I decided to stay in because honestly, I think upon switching, I lose this Haxorus anyway, so I figured just go for Outrage to get some damage on this Ferrothorn, and then bring back the Nidoking. He tries to go for Gyro Ball there, as you can see, so I actually made the right play in staying in because nothing on my team takes any hit from this Ferrothorn after rocks, not even my my Thunderous Tea, and I don't think Thunderous Tea can even touch this thing either, honestly. I think it didn't even have Focus Blast, actually, so I was actually in a really bad position there. But nonetheless, I sent out Nidoking right here after losing Haxorus, and because actually, I think here is where I decided to finally try my luck and actually try going for Flamethrower as opposed to going for another substitute right here. And unfortunately for me, he ends up going into Pelipper. Had I went for substitute, I would have put myself in a very, very good position right here because I would have been able to go for another Shadow Ball, or I'd be able to go for substitute. I'd be behind a substitute, and I'd get a free Shadow Ball on literally anything he switches in, whether it be the Swampert or staying in with the Pelipper. And I would have either taken out the Pelipper or weakened the Swampert to the point where he'd have to let his Swampert go and not survive anymore, you know. But yeah, either way, I send out Nidoking here, and he does actually try to switch in the Swampert, like he switched in Pelipper obviously because he predicted the flamethrower. But here, I think he could have easily just gone for Surf. And probably, I don't know. He could have probably just, you know, taken me out. Or no, not really, because it was low and I could have taken it out with a Shadow Ball, no. Maybe that's why he switched in the Swampert right here. Because I was thinking, couldn't he just stay in and go for Surf? But actually, now that I think about it, it actually made more sense to send in Swampert because Swampert can take a Shadow Ball and then hit my Nidoking for damage. Thankfully for me, I actually go for the substitute right here because I was actually curious if he would actually make such a play. And he actually ends up doing it. So I'm behind a substitute and now I can go for Earth Power for free. And this Swampert goes down. That crit didn't matter because I did a lot of damage to it earlier anyway. So it definitely takes it out, I think. But here comes the Zeraora. And as you saw, this Zeraora is in fact a Z user. And it has Devastating Drake, which screams Z Outrage. So yeah, obviously I can't take that with a half HP Nidoking. So I lose that obviously. Now here I go for Protect with Sharpedo. No, okay, now here's the moment of truth. Okay, so I went for Protect to get Speed Boost obviously. And unfortunately this Zeraora actually had freaking Bulk Up, so he had something to punish my attempts at protecting, which was really annoying. However, I was thinking that with +1 speed, I should be able to outspeed this, and sure, it'll probably be able to take a crunch after the Bulk Up obviously. But if I can get a crit, then maybe I can take out the Zeraora. Well, unfortunately for me, this Sharpedo didn't even have Speed Boost, and it was at this particular turn where I realized that I didn't have it. Because you saw that earlier, I didn't realize that I actually didn't have Speed Boost. So I was like, wow, really? And then it was right here where I realized that I didn't have Speed Boost, which is really stupid, and just goes to show you once again my lack of observations with these damn preparations, whether it be for team building or even battling, because I would have probably played a little differently if I realized that the Sharpedo was actually not carrying Speed Boost. But honestly, I was honestly surprised that Sharpedo even carried Speed Boost when I was team building, honestly. But I guess that happened because I listed in the team builder Mega Sharpedo and not regular Sharpedo, which would have given me the ability to change Rough Skin to Speed Boost. And I guess because I had Mega Sharpedo listed, it would actually I guess give it the default ability, which is Rough Skin. I don't know. At the same time, I don't even remember if it even was listed as Mega Sharpedo though, because the team that I had for this battle, I actually deleted it, so I don't even remember if I actually listed it as Mega Sharpedo or was it regular Sharpedo. Because you saw at the beginning of this battle that regular Sharpedo was right there. I don't think it would be. I don't think Mega Sharpedo would just show up all willy-nilly though like that though, would it, at the start of the battle? I don't know, but the bottom line was that this Mega Sharpedo or this Sharpedo didn't have Speed Boost, and as a result I couldn't use it, and as a result I basically lose this battle. Like, I didn't even have a chance to hope for a crit here, honestly. But at the same time, I had to kind of reflect on the fact that my luck is also not the greatest either, so maybe I wouldn't have gotten the crit and I would have still lost this anyways. But the fact that I couldn't even have a chance at possibly beating this guy kind of really sucks. And again, I was just angry at the fact that there was just so many things that Shodan messed up on my team. For example, my Cofagrigus, this is the most trivial one, but my Cofagrigus wasn't freaking male like it should have been. Again, it's a trivial matter, it doesn't really affect the battle, but it was still annoying that Shodan didn't fucking fix that, honestly. And then my Tangrowth not having Regenerator was another thing. I honestly thought that as soon as I clicked Tangrowth when making the team, it would have Regenerator because that's the most used ability in the meta, obviously. And then Mega Sharpedo, I guess because I didn't list it as regular Sharpedo in order to switch the ability from Rough Skin to Speed Boost is why it gave it Rough Skin. But yeah, all this shit like really just pissed me off because I was like, damn, why does Shodan have to be so complicated? At least for me it's complicated, I don't know. And then on top of that, in this battle, I guess because of how fast-paced this battle, the Shodan is why another reason why I didn't even like observe carefully if I had Speed Boost on that Sharpedo or not, or if I even had Regenerator on freaking Tangrowth. But I don't know. But bottom line is that yeah, we lost this battle and we lost 3-0, which is kind of lame because we only have 3 more opponents to battle, and if I keep losing like this, I don't advance to the brackets, obviously. But oh well, what are you gonna do? So either way, that's gonna be the whole game to King John W and GG, obviously, because he did play well. He did out-prep me in various situations, and if I even made this battle as close as I did, it was probably thanks to the luck, obviously, because I probably wouldn't have been in a good position had I not been able to crit that Latios, obviously. But anyways, so yeah, that's gonna be game 1 of the pools for March Madness, and I guess I could say is stay tuned for the later games, because I do have 3 more games from the pool, so to showcase, obviously. And yeah, but they're gonna be coming at their due time. I might upload one tomorrow, I don't know, or maybe the day after, I don't know. It really just depends on what I got on my plate. But with all that said, I'll catch you guys in the next battle. But for now, just take it easy and have a good one.